touring guys here
The
tonight.
Dust Pods 09. It's a Longhorn from Sun River, Montana. Michael Leach at the controls. He actually works now up in the Salisbury area at Longhorn. How about the 18 coming out? More and more cars getting themselves out onto the track. This is Ultimate Super Late Models point leader, by the way. That 18 is Gary Parton. 79, Donald McIntosh.
Gray Parton's got a bunch of sheet metal he's trying to get rid of down there in his pit area. If you're looking for some sheet metal, go see the 18P team down from Rutherford, North Carolina. Gray Parton.
The 212 on camera now. Our series champion, defending champion, Josh Putnam on there from Alabama.
First driver here.
Yeah.
Josh Putnam, all the way from Alabama.
They don't play. It is not going to be a season of dynamic victories, but it's going to be a season of consistency. Now, here's a driver looking to make a dynamic victory. Ben Watkins, the 16 machine, flat flying. He is the track record holder here at Lancaster. And a driver on a mission with a big old target on him, because he knows how fast that mega plumbing machine needs to go, and it even needs to go faster. Longhorn by WP Clements Power. McIntosh the quickest of the group, though. Watkins second. Mitchell now jumps ahead of him. First car in the 1920s. Zach Mitchell, fastest of the crowd. McIntosh steals it away from him. Goes low 1920s. McIntosh, Mitchell, Watkins, Brown, Leach, Parton, Putnam, and Brown.
Donald McIntosh getting into the H&H. Number 79 ride. Good to see him doing good. 19.218. Pretty fast right there. Not too far from the track record. Just about a tenth off of the track record or so. Something like that. So they're pretty fast out there right now. They're getting this. They're getting the full effect. Under 20 seconds for a lap. That's pretty doggone fast out here in a half mile.
Well, they come from far and wide to see the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series, and they also come to see this car, the 4 of the little head knocker, Trent Ivey, on camera.
His dad, Petey Ivey, was a pretty big deal back in the day. If you know, you know, if you've been to Cherokee Speedway throughout the 80s and 90s.
Won Carolina Clash race right here at Lancaster as well.
He was the first winner, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. First Carolina Clash winner, Petey Ivey.
And the Dirt Draft Live Look-In. We want to welcome everybody to Lancaster, South Carolina, that are tuning in on Facebook to be able to check this out. If you are here in the grandstands, tell your friends to check it out. And we'd love to have them become a subscriber to the Hunt the Front TV. We'll be going to Cherokee and then to Sonoya, Duck River, and so many tracks for the second half of the season. A great year. Year number 2 of this series, the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series. Dirt Draft Live Look-In. And we're on our third group of Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series cars making their way around the track. And everybody getting up to speed. 3 machine, the Steel Tech car, Brett Robinson. It is a Longhorn. DPS Automotive Motion Sensors helping him out. One of the later arriving machines. And the 16, that is Sam Seawright, current number 2 in points from Alabama. And your points leader, big sexy Brandon Overton. And that Infinity chassis from Wells has just proven to be spot on. Going to get tested tonight, though.
Most certainly a strong driver in this field. One of my picks to run up front, or at least hopefully get the win tonight. Brandon Overton, a fan of this place for sure. He's actually commented on some social media stuff the other day, said he's ready to roll. He's liking that trophy. He said he's ready to notch another Lancaster win. It's been a long time since he's been here, Brandon Overton.
How about Rambo Dennis Franklin, a legend, an absolute Carolina legend right there. If this is your first time or 100th time, seeing Rambo is always an exciting time. It is for me, that's for sure. There's Will Harrington, Hawkinsville, Georgia. What a cool dude. Always a pleasure to go chat with him. And next up, there he is, Joseph Joyner. We got to get this 10 car back in victory lane. All-Tech now seems like it was a distant memory. And we know that 10 car's got speed. New colors, new sponsor. Looking for Joseph to make it go faster and faster. I got a feeling they've got something for him this weekend. Joyner going to get up to speed in the Kubota machine. One of the drivers on the track here as you're watching the Dirt Draft live look-in. You also check out the Dirt Draft YouTube page and Dirt Draft Hot Laps going on right now. Make sure you sign up, get the app for Dirt Draft. Here we go. Green is out.
Nice group of cars for group number 2, Lenny. We got on screen right here. Joyner right here, his very first time at this racetrack. Sam Seawright, his first time at this racetrack right behind him. Overton, been here a couple times, got him a win. Got him 2 wins, actually.
Yeah, probably 10, 12 years ago, the first time I came here, Overton was in the old Budweiser machine he used to race in. A much younger version, a wilder version. We're looking at him right now on camera. Now a pro's pro. In anybody's book, one of the top drivers in the country, the 76 machine powering around corner number 3. That massive straightaway down the front stretch. Petey Ivy told me that as you're up against the wall and the air compressing off your car will actually shake your car down the front straightaway. And if it's a first-timer like Joseph Joyner or Sam Seawright, they're going to get the wiggles like they've never felt before at any other racetrack. Coming down these straightaways, these walls will just compact the air that you're pushing in a dirt late model, and they will force that car to do things you never thought it would going straight, or at least trying to go straight.
Most certainly a mad case of the speed wobbles here at Lancaster Speedway. As you can see right here, Gavin Cowan in the 219 car, 19.497. And right behind him, Overton, 19.559. Joyner with a 19.594. Sam Seawright. How about Will Harrington here with us this afternoon? He had a heck of a race at the Dome last year.
Yes, he
I
did.
sure was pulling for that young guy right there. He's most certainly another up-and-coming talent. Pure Stocks to the stage and lane. Port seat in there. Pure Stocks to the stage and lane. Pure Stocks, Pure Stocks. Let's move on.
So the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series, you're tuned in. Dirt Draft Hot Laps being handled out there on the racetrack. We'll be going to local divisions here for a couple of minutes and then cycle through, get back with more of the action from the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series, but you can't look away. The local divisions here are stout. They're drivers that know how to drive these long straightaways with great-looking race cars. And wherever you're watching us, let us know what you think about Lancaster and all the things happening here. We wish you were here with us, but really tonight, it's a packed house. We're going to be full, and you should be having a party wherever you are, both this night and tomorrow night. The South Carolina fans are special, and they love the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series. And we have a few more of our series cars coming out, and it looks like Clay Knight will lead them in honor of Ken Knight. Dad, we miss you. We know he's watching. This Barron's 42. Going to make some strong laps. The driver said, no, he's not giving up. That's not how Dad would want to have it happen. Next up, more cars coming around. And we got so many of them here.
Dennis Rambo Franklin, your next driver out there.
Yeah, the 2.
Good to see Rambo. Rambo, at one point, was the win leader here in Super Late Model Racing before Ben Watkins came along, like I said a minute ago.
How about Ross Bales? Now, Hunter Weaver said that Ross Bales was going to be his pick, the Clover, South Carolina driver, and the Fred Caldwell Chevrolet Longhorn.
Most certainly another one to not sleep on. Ross Bales also been to victory lane a couple times here.
David Yandel, the veteran, had some trouble at one of the tracks in Eastern Carolina. Really had to work on getting that car back in shape to get it out here.
David Yandel, also another driver that used to be here back in the day, another limited late model driver from that class back in the mid-2000s.
Ashton Winger, you're looking at it, the 12 machine down the back straightaway, past the high rollers as he slides around towards turn number 4. Jeff Smith, how about that? Should be in the Hall of Fame if he ain't right now. Jeff Smith, and he has won here, is always good here, likes these big tracks, and we're back to Clay Knight for those watching on huntthefront.tv.
Oh, certainly. Jeff Smith, a legend in the game in his own right. The son of the Southern gentleman. Watch out for that 70 car.
Yeah, I think if I was going to pick somebody that maybe not win, but somebody I would want to win, I think a lot of folks would say we want Jeff Smith to win. It would be a good, whether they're wearing a shirt for somebody else, Jeff Smith winning is that good feel thing that none of us would complain about.
Also, I want to shout out Ashton Winger, his first time here as well.
Woo!
Good to see him here. Going to be very interesting to see what he can do. And that tribute car right there, I hope Clay keeps that thing looking just like that. I hope they keep that same design, everything. That is one good-looking race car. Big shout out to that family. Our condolences most certainly from everybody here at Lancaster Speedway as well on the passing of his father.
Bale's quickest out of that group, and they're moving folks in and out. So local categories will be coming up. Matt Wheeler is the voice here alongside of me as we're watching out. Joshua Joyner will be giving us some updates from the pit area throughout the broadcast and doing our different things as the heats get underway and through the Jericho transmission redraw amongst those things that he will be in charge of down trackside. If you are following along on social media, I want to shout out Jack Kofer for his work, a driver, a social media person that got a lot done in the Cherokee and Lancaster and Carolina areas, and we grabbed him up. You got something going on. What's up? So while all of that is going on, we may have some more things that probably would be good to tune in and check out from the home side. So we'll let that happen if our truck has got those. And we'll be back here to sunny Lancaster, South Carolina for the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series.
If you have lost a Honda car key, make sure you go see the folks at the merchandise booth. Attention in the grandstands, kitchen in the grandstands.
One of the pain points when it comes to earthwork is not being able to get to as many bids as you'd like to. We've had contractors miss 5 or 6 a month, and by leaning on us, they can then get those done on top of what they were already expecting to do, which then lets them win more projects, lets them grow more, and also not have to hire the personnel to take that over.
Oh, yeah, Ports Heating and Air, title sponsor of the Pure Stock Division here at Lancaster Speedway, longtime business here in Lancaster. Try to keep the local flair with those local sponsors going. Colby Waits out of Kershaw, South Carolina, first driver to cross the line in the green flag. Hot lap qualifying. Hot lap times will set the field. A little bit of smoke coming out the back of that 28 car. Week in and week out, he's a pretty doggone good young driver out of Kershaw. 28 of Colby Waits. Right behind him, Dean Davis in that 57, the Bulldog Motorsports number 57 car. Turner Motorsports on the side of that thing as well. He's got a couple of wins this year, or a couple of wins under his belt. He's been to victory lane this year. Right behind him, I do believe, yes, that is Peebo Johnson. Also been around these parts quite some time. Son of a Hall of Famer here with us at Lancaster, Jumpin' Joe Johnson. Sporting the number 11, family tradition, sporting that number.
I saw a Peebo Johnson shirt in the grandstands.
You'll see him left and right sometimes.
Yeah.
He's a very popular driver here as well, Peebo Johnson.
Another driver we want to send our best wishes to, local driver Chris Madden, Gray Court, South Carolina.
He was good here at one point.
We saw the release, and Chris is going to take some time off from racing for health reasons, and we wish him well. and can't wait to see him back in a race car at some point when health is not something he is, is concerned about at this point. So our thoughts go out to Chris Smokey Madden. So these are local divisions, Lancaster Speedway category cars. 4 of these divisions will compete.
Our pure stock division out here right now. Colby Waits up in smoke. Got the wind the net down. He's taking it pit side. That hot lap session is over. Peebo Johnson with a 26.995. 26.995, the fastest pure stock in group number 1. Group 2 coming at you next. Mike Sloan in the 91G. Colby Waits in the 28. And Dean Davis in that 57, making his way from Denver, North Carolina to come race down here.
These camera shots here are from Brandon Metler, BAM Videos.
BAM Racing Videos. Make sure you check him out on YouTube. He's been doing us pretty good these past couple of years, putting some coverage out and all that. Getting me out there.
This track is really
YouTube
where,
videos.
he
pretty
got
much
started.
his home track. He's told me a couple times. So.
Yep, we've.
Now, anyway, he's actually from Indiana, so that's pretty neat. Isn't that neat? The state of Indiana, as much as it's ate up with motorsports,
down here,
he's just trickling on down here, showing us some love. That's pretty cool to see that. Good to see Bam in the stands. I seen him just now, not too long ago. So, big shout out to him for putting some coverage out there for him.
So we're seeing shadow on the back straightaway and sun up front, and that's got to make going through turn 1 into 2 something that you'd need sunglasses for.
I don't. Some of these, you'll see some shots of these guys. Some of these guys will wear sunglasses every now and again. Not until you actually look at some of those track shots, you could tell some of those guys do it or not. But Chris Allman finished runner-up last year in the point standings out of Lancaster, South Carolina. Burnham down, Steve Henson. Comeback season for the Knox Bailey Race Cars number 10 car. He's been out for quite some time. Former Pure Street Track champion, and we got some trouble at the bottom of turn number 4. He shouldn't have put that Bloomquist on the side. I knew it was going to be bad luck for him. Just joking. That is one good-looking race car. Jason Tolbert. Bad fast piece right there. He's making his way back around. Good-looking pure stock machine for sure. Got that thing, all the bells and whistles. Cut no corners on some of these guys' race cars out here. Some good-looking stuff. Some great running stuff. If you just listen to some of the motors out there, just some of the smoothest sounding cars out here in Lancaster.
That looks like a Bloomquist car out there. And we wish Scott well in his recovery from things that he wants to get right before he comes back to the series and all the rest. But it was good to see him up there battling at Eldora a couple of weeks ago.
Unfortunate circumstances for sure. He's been trying so hard to make a comeback and everything, and to see that happen to him. Great looking car. They was going to have a great run. Man, I really hate to see that. The fans are still trickling on in. Don't believe this 2 lined up back there anymore, but they are packed in.
So you were in your mom's womb while she worked at the refreshment stand. She's still working at the refreshment stand. What is your go-to here from the refreshment stand at Lancaster Motor Speedway?
Well,
what does her baby boy want from her when you go there?
It's been quite some time since she's been down there. But it used to be, I used to have to get dibs on her Diet Mountain Dew when she had it down there. So it was right there and it was cold, so she would just give it to me.
There you go.
But
cars on the track. More than 100 trucks of water throughout the last 24 hours, and they really put a lot of it on yesterday to get it in, let it sit overnight, let it get all the way down into the organics and such, and through all the material.
They most certainly had to get ready. They had to do what they had to do to get ready. Not this volume, much of a volume of cars are on this track week in and week out, so they really don't know how much that it can handle, the ground pounding Super Late model. So we're going to see here in just a little while. Hopefully the right recipe they put together with all that water on that track is going to work for them here later. Because that's a lot of race cars, a lot of horsepower hitting that track here in a little while.
Definitely. And it's going to take a lot of horsepower. Somebody's going to have packed in a couple extra ponies under the hood to be able to get down these straightaways and take the lead. And we're going to have a bunch of different racing coming up. And we can show you at some point here in the next little bit, schedules and things like that, and take a look here. First off, at Sonoya is the halfway point of the season. That's our next race, July 6th. Then we'll go to Duck River up in Tennessee, August 2nd and 3rd, $5,000 on Friday, but a $20,000 Saturday event there. Then to East Alabama Motor Speedway for the 15,000 win event by itself on the 17th of August. And then quickly up to Lake Cumberland in Kentucky for a 2-day show. Friday night for 5,000, Saturday for 15,000. Lake Cumberland Speedway, our farthest north race that the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series will go. And I'm sure that those folks will be coming from far and wide to see, as they always do great things. So coming up, we've got things about our friends from My Race Pass. As you know, My Race Pass does so much for us here in the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series. And we love having that My Race Pass as a part of things, because that is the official timing and scoring. Download the My Race Pass app in the Google Play and App Store, and you'll get all-day information, all that you need right in the palm of your hand. And truly, it is amazing. My Race Pass, one of the real keys to keeping on top of racing, not just at the track you're at, but your tracks across the globe, and driver information. There's all kinds of pages to look at and to be able to find out things about drivers that maybe you've seen, maybe you'd like to see, maybe you'd like to know more about. My Race Pass, all-day race information you need is in the palm of your hand. Download the My Race Pass app in the Google Play and the App Store. Easy to do and a great tool to have right alongside. So in just a little bit, we will have our qualifying coming up for the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series. Qualifying will be next, and then followed by the Thunder Bombers that will be coming up after them. Getting ready to go green flag racing here. Chris Ferguson. First car out the 22 machine down the straightaway. Fergie time. Chris Ferguson, Mount Holly, North Carolina. Live Oak Dentistry, Spartan Transport, Schaefer's Oil, Zero Chassis with Clemens Power. And he is followed by the 39 machine. Right there chasing him. That is Clark. Hot on it into the corner. As we see Ferguson diving around the racetrack. Trey Mills is the driver, Trey Mills from Florida, the 14, the future. The Boswell Oil, Fitz Factory Incorporated, Integra sponsored Black Diamond with Clemens by HR for Power. St. Augustine's 14-year-old. And it's a 3-car deal, so it was Clark as they were showing the 14, Greg Clark, Integris Risk Solutions, Pinnacle Insurance, Jags Motorsports Longhorn with Pro Power from Stanley, North Carolina. He ends up third. Fergie's got a 19.101. How about that for some speed there from Chris Ferguson? Ferguson laying down a great first lap here in our My Race Pass Super Late Model qualifying run. Chris Fergie time, Ferguson. Next up, looks like Ethan Wilson. 15th car, Carolina Boys Landscaping, Horry County Carpeted Tile, Carolina Sod Farm Longhorn with Clemens. Keep your eye on this car. They came in with a head of steam for sure. Christian Thomas, the next driver right behind him, as Thomas, the 06, the former modified star. J.C. Well, Victory Lane, Oil Change, Souls Automotive, Rocket with Durham for power for him.
Chris Ferguson still hanging on to that top spot. 19.101, Christian Thomas. Well, now, as soon as I said something, it always goes down like that, Lenny Batiki.
Jackson Heiss, Pitts Factory Incorporated Triple Crown Trailers, Down to Earth Trailers, Ocala, Florida based Black Diamond with H&R for power, the 388. Also, our ATC Bolts Rookie of the Year points leader. The Wilson with an 18, the first of our 18-second runs.
First driver in the 18-second bracket. Ethan Wilson, that 15 car, outside of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Fayetteville Speedway native. Ethan Wilson, 18.989, lightning quick out there.
How about it for the Heart of Dixie State? Birmingham, Alabama's Caden Mullinex. The Odin's Beard Secret Machine, ASC warranty, black market bar grill, black diamond chassis with Clemens power right there on camera. This kid is looking for that one breakthrough race. Will it be here tonight? He'll be followed by a driver the long haul of long hauls. The 09 from Sun River, Montana. This is Michael Leach. The Dust Pods, Big Sky Scientific, Willow Ranch. They have that wasabi beef at Willow Ranch, he said. It is a Longhorn with Coronet for power. Look at him go. This is like his 5th ever super race for Leach, and he's already jumped up to the 6th qualifying spot. Next up, the 57. That is Kid Quick, Zach Mitchell. Clay Hood Grading, South Carolina Chemicals, Fox Shocks, Longhorn by Wells, Clements powered car from Enery, South Carolina. And he will finish 4th for Zach Mitchell. He'll be. How about Leach, the kid out of Montana who's only ran 4 or 5 of these at all, is now 2nd quickest.
That man is quite a few worlds away from the state of Montana down here in South Carolina. 2nd quick. Yeah, so far, 19 seconds on a half mile.
Just hold on, though.
Yes, but I think he might get bested right here. Track record holder, former Super Late Model champion. Done won a ton of street stock races out here. Ladies and gentlemen, you see him right here. WP Racing Shocks on the dig sticks, number 16 machine. That is the Rock Hill bad boy, Ben Watkins. 18.140, the track record. He's going to try to best it here.
Mega Plumbing, Parks Heating and Cooling, Langley Collision Center for Rock Hills, Ben Watkins, Longhorn by WP with Clements for power. One more lap. We take an inside car look from Joe's Racing Products. The folks from up in the state of Washington, if you're looking to order race products, you've got to go there. 18P, Gary Parton from Rutherford in North Carolina. The Parton Lumber Forest Products, Longhorn with Clements. He is your ultimate Super Late Model Series points leader on camera. But right now, Ben Watkins has just put the fast lap out there. Watkins is quickest with an 18.948. Parton is 2nd. Parton goes to 2nd with Wilson 3rd. McIntosh slides in there, and then Leach. Ben Watkins. But we knew that.
Look at how close the top 5, 6, the top 7 times are, Lenny Batiki.
Yeah, I mean, they're closer than yet you try to get when you're trying to get into that refreshment stand to have your mom serve you.
We got a little something on our hands tonight, I think, Mr. Batiki.
We sure do. Josh Putnam, Florence, Alabama, the Horn Towing and Salvage, Thornton Iron and Metal, CFR Racing Performance, Rocket, XR1 with Pro Power. He is the defending series champion. Gets loose, gets out of shape there as he came out of corner number 2, but keeps his foot stabbing right there on the firewall. He wants to get every bit of speed he can. He's going to need it. Going to need it. The 24, one of the cars to watch. Michael Brown on track. The Blackcrest Farm, JR's Bar, Live Oak Dentistry, Rocket from Pageland, South Carolina with Clements power.
High school classmate of mine, as a matter of fact, Michael Brown, downtown Michael Brown. Used to go down there when he used to run the Super Street car back about, 15 years ago or so down there.
You're watching at home, that's one of those locals that can come snatch this away because they all hunt the front around this part. They love to go fast here, this big half mile at Lancaster, South Carolina.
Michael Brown driving the Black Crest Farms 2,4D team out of Sumter, South Carolina. So good to see them doing pretty good so far in qualifying.
My Race Pass Super Late Model Qualifying. We look at the in-car provided by Joe's Racing Products. Again, if you haven't found Joe's Racing Products online, you're not finding the best parts. Go to Joe's Racing Products. If you've got anything from a mini stock, a go-kart, all the way up to super late models, folks at Joe's Racing Products, they have been in it. They're in it because they love racing. Maybe 10 years ago, I was a Joe's Racing Products pit reporter at the Snowball Derby. They do it all at Joe's Racing Products. Check them out online. If you are looking for any race part, they will help you out. Good folks on the phones up there, like Caleb Hart, who you may hear on tonight's broadcast from Skagit Speedway, if you're watching late after we're done here. So, we're watching as Watkins gets ready to get out. We got a cool in-car camera, and this is why I always tell people that have a subscription to Hunt the Front TV, bring your cell phone and check it out, because some of the things we're talking about are replays. Some of the things we're talking about are these cool in-car cameras. The experience of being at a track, the best place to watch a streaming event is on your phone at the event, but it's also cool to have that phone there streaming so you can watch the replays that the others may not. You'll have a bunch of fans around you going, hey, show us that replay.
A whole bunch of different ways you can get different angles, just different sights, different views of what some of these drivers are seeing right now, especially with these in-car cameras and just super cool technology that's come along with all this stuff right here. I've never seen it. Even looking at it with my own eyes, I haven't seen it this clear, Lenny Baticki. This is a beautiful sight right here. Just this shot of they got back here, this super stretch sign. It looks so awesome. It's just good to see it on TV the way it is.
I think one of the cool things that certain tracks do, and even we do from time to time, is bring a big screen, just a TV size, a home-sized screen, and put it by the refreshment stands, and fans will gather around it because they want to see the replays and such. So as tracks change and we all develop differently, you'll see more and more of where somebody will just put up a couple of TV screens down by the flag stand maybe or somewhere like that. And when they're having these streaming races, everybody will get to watch them together. You already paid your ticket to get here. Here comes the guy, Hunt the Front's own, the 10 car from Milton, Florida. That is Joseph Joyner in the Kubota machine. Kubota Genuine Parts, trading paints, base fuels, Longhorn with Jay Dickens. The 10 machine on track. And if you're just watching for the first time out there because you're a Hunt the Front YouTube subscriber, that's your guy, and well-earned is his reputation for being a real Willman. Will Harrington in the 14 car, Hawkinsville, Georgia. 5M Construction, Harvey Trucking, Newport Lighting, Rocket with Clemens Power. That's the family machine out there for the Mid-Georgia machine. Will Harrington.
Good to see Will Harrington out here with us. That's a surprise for me for sure. Didn't expect Will to come out here and race with these guys, but he's on the tour this year, and I'm just excited to see a guy like that, a guy I saw on TV coming out here racing with us here all the way from Georgia.
Sam Seawright, he won up at Ultimate Motorsports Park the night before we were supposed to be here. He's in the Baird machine, the 16, Coltman Farms, Cove to Coast Marine. Sponsors on that car. The Alabama driver, second place in points. You're watching the My Race Pass Super Late Model Qualifying. This is the legend from here in the Carolinas, the 2 car of none other than Dennis Rambo Franklin. Gaffney, South Carolina, Hambricks and Gaffney, Nichols Plumbing, Turkeys Towing, XL Chassis with Clemens for power for the legend, Dennis Rambo Franklin. Next up, the 4 car, the little head knocker from Union, South Carolina, Trent Ivy, Badger Rental Services, Built South, Hardison Suspension Services, Rocket with Clemens for power, Petey's Kid on the throttle. And with him, I believe that's Robinson, Brent Robinson on track as we watch Ivy complete his lap. The 3 is Brent Robinson. Field Tech, BPS Automotive Motion Sensors race car, the Longhorn, on the Speedway here, the big half mile. How about Cowan with an 1899 for his machine? Gavin Cowan. Nice run for him.
Another driver in the 18-second bracket. Youngster right there, I saw him come up in many late models down when I was calling the racing at Sumter Speedway. Those kids have come a long way.
Speaking of a guy who's come a long way, he brought $50,000 with him from last weekend. He's looking to capitalize here on our 12,000 to win Buddy Crook Memorial. It is our points leader from Evans, Georgia, Brandon Overton. The muscle-packed Rento Southern, big dog stumping tree. Wells Infinity chassis with Clemens for power, and he's joined by Clay Knight. Clay Knight, the 42 race car on track, flying down the straightaway. The North Augusta, Georgia, Augusta Aquatics, MW Transportation, Barrett, Longhorn by WP with Clemens for power, sliding it all around this racetrack. And Jeff Smith, the final of the three. The Orange Towing of Gastonia, DZ Enterprises, Superior Pools of South Carolina, Longhorn by WP Clemens for power. It's still Cowan, but how about Joyner? And Smith puts it third. Jeff Smith is now third quickest of this group. Nice run for him.
Still a nice little handful of cars left to qualify right here. Hopefully that momentum will stay right there for Mr. Smith.
That is a special run. Veteran David Yandel coming up next from Monroe, North Carolina. The Southeast Steel and Welding Tradition Auction South Shop Longhorn with Yandel for power. He makes that engine himself.
Also one of the main drivers in the limited late model division in the mid-2000s right here, David Yandel out of Monroe. So got to see him run a lot of laps in this place over the years. And this guy right here.
Oh, yeah. Dennis Franklin on camera. Hemrick's machine down into the corner. It does look good. I got to believe old Rambo was laying in the weeds getting ready for this one.
How about first time Ashton Winger here with us all the way from Georgia as well.
Air Force Ashton Winger.
Another hot driver right here right now in the United States' super late model racing period.
Recreational Vehicle Select, Union Credit, Remarketing Solutions, Super K Express Rocket with Durham for power. You know, he was last year's Summer Nationals points champion. He's racing with us this year now, getting it done here at the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series.
All we're missing now is Tyler Erb. We need Tyler Erb.
Woo!
That would be killer.
You know, just hang on. Because
maybe next year.
The Joiners have great
Wishful
magic. How about magic here from Clover, South Carolina? Ross Bales, the Fred Caldwell Chevrolet, Mid-Atlantic Roofing, Wakefield Logging, Longhorn by WP with Randy Clary for power in that 87 machine. Ross is one to watch. His program is tight. He's won races, big races already this season. Ross Bales, we'll find out now where he sits as far as speed-wise. But Ross is the kind of guy that doesn't need to show speed. He just needs to be where he wants the car at any given time of the night and then get to the feature. Bales, hammer down, coming out of corner number 4. Clover, South Carolina, across the stripe. And he will click it off 4th out of the group. Cowan, Joyner, Winger, Bales, Smith, and then Overton. Did you have that on your bingo card? Jeff Smith, 5th. Brandon Overton, 6th. Ross Bales, 4th. Winger, Joyner, and Cowan. The mini late model kid showing out. How cool.
Just talking about Ross Bales right there. His dad, Todd Bales, used to drive limited sportsman cars back in the day at Cherokee Speedway, and he visited Victory Lane a time or two back then, well before Ross started racing.
Todd Bales is one of the quietest, nicest, politest human beings on the planet. Don't get him mad. One of the first really big ruckuses I ever saw at a dirt track Mr. Bales was haymaker in somebody, and that's like 8 foot of bales up there. Just a great fella, a polite, quiet giant, but don't mess with him or his son. And love me some Todd Bales. Can't wait. Hopefully he'll come out to one of these races this weekend while we're close to Clover, South Carolina. You're watching Hunt the Front TV from Lancaster, South Carolina, the Buddy Crook Memorial, $12,000 to win, day one of a 2-day show in the Carolinas for the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series. Local divisions lining up. Matt Wheeler, the voice of Lancaster Speedway.
Half and half tickets going around right now. 50-50 going strong in the main grandstands. 50-50 tickets in the main grandstands. Right here in the family section up front near the flag stand. Get them while they got them, when you can see them. Or something like that. 50-50, half and half. Being sold right now in the main grandstands at the bottom. Make sure when you see them, grab some tickets. Make sure you check in with Mr. Joey Whitaker about that door raffle for Ben Watkins. Make sure you check into Swankyville about the race car raffle for the Jackson Shrine Club. Big shout out to Swankyville, live on Hunt the Front TV. Hello down there. And hello to the High Rollers over in turn number 3 at the top over there. Turn 4 to Jungle. How about it? Turn 4. Make some noise over there. We got to get some waving. I see y'all down there. There ain't no blue section over there in turn 4, so they get to do all the drinking they want down there. They like to have fun down there, too. A lot of Baker fans, so watch what you talk about down that way. I'm just kidding. You know the rivalry's still strong. Timbo versus Brandy all the way. That's probably the strongest rivalry this track's ever seen. But good to see the Thunder Bombers getting